What's up guys, Nate here. Today we're going to do the first Deuce and a Half video in the series. So I am just on my way down to the garage right now, so I figured I'd start talking. Now there are a few things that I would just like to mention before I actually start the video. First of all, this is my daily driver. This is a 1999 Ford Escort ZX2 Sport. Nothing really impressive. But anyways, back to the Deuce. So the camera fell down, so I'm going to start down here. So the main point or a couple things I wanted to talk about are, first of all, Deuce and a Half is a military vehicle, if you don't know. Trying to figure out how to get there. Okay. It is a military vehicle. Ours is a 1970. So this is a Vietnam era truck, although none of them that I know of returned from Vietnam because they didn't want to have to go through all the trouble of actually bringing them back. So instead, sadly, they just drove them into the ocean. From what I've heard a lot of different things. But anyways, ours is a Vietnam era. It was a National Guard truck in Maryland, from what I've heard. That's where the reason we bought a Deuce and a Half is because we were actually going to get a new vehicle, a new truck. Currently, we had a 2001 Ford Excursion, great truck, although it was getting pretty tired. So we're actually going to purchase a 2017 Ford Super Duty F350. But as we were getting ready to purchase it, we realized, wait a minute, we're paying $70,000 plus for a truck that we're going to throw shit in the back of it. So that kind of made us pause and think, well, is that really the best thing to do? So we went ahead, and one day at dinner, my dad joked around, hey, we could get a Deuce and a Half. And we actually used to own a Deuce and a Half. Our old one, it was I think an 80s or 90s. It was a Studebaker. No, it couldn't have been Studebaker, it was 90s. It was a newer one. It was a gas engine. I think it was a Studebaker. But it was really rough. I mean, really rough. It was used at a prison in Michigan, I think. So, we thought, well, that was a pretty good truck. We had great luck with that. So, why not get another one? And so we did. We picked this one up for, I think, around 12 grand. You can pick up a Deuce and a Half in good running condition that needs, obviously, a paint job and a restoration for, I think, around 5 grand, maybe less, depending on, who you purchase it through. But, like I said, ours, we picked it up from a guy right out of Maryland. Like I said, we just got it last year, probably around September. Just a great truck. We use it now for, we put it in every once in a while on a parade. We take it to a couple car shows, but mostly we haul stuff with it. We take it to Home Depot, and, we pick up our lumber. If you don't know, we restore houses in our neighborhood, and, we need to haul stuff with a big truck. So I'm just around the corner from the garage right now, so I think I will put you guys away, and we'll see you when we get there. Okay, so I figured that we would start with the interior of the truck, just given that, it's a pretty big truck, and this would probably be the easiest thing. So let's get in here and check it out. I do have my flashlight on this time, because there's no lights on in here. So if we hop up in here, first thing that I want to point out is the Deuce and a Half is anything but a comfortable ride. First of all, these seats are very cushiony. Actually, you can actually see that. But these are very springy seats, so when you hit a bump, you're literally bouncing off the ceiling. I've actually almost hit my head up there. Driving it and also riding it, anything but comfortable. It doesn't obviously have air conditioning. You do, though, have these nice little footwell things here. You can get them open. And then you have some fresh air that comes in through there. But definitely anything but comfortable. So first of all, let's talk about how you can make it sort of comfortable. Obviously, your windows roll down. Your back window, you can slide that open. That's not much. The other thing you can do is actually unscrew. I'm not going to do it now because it's really complicated. We're going to unscrew these two and then open the latch up on the bottom, and your whole two windows will actually pop out like that. Now another thing is that this has a hard top in this Deuce and a Half. A lot of them actually came with soft tops, so you could first of all take the whole top off, And on the outside, you have these really big screws over there. They're technically like this over here. And the whole windshield will lay flat on the hood, hence the clips right there. So, those are a couple things you can do to get some fresh air flowing. What about in the winter? So, you do have a heater down here. And you have, first of all, on your left here, air, and it says open damper before turning heat on. And also you have a defroster. Then you have your low, off, and high. So, where your air comes out, if I can get down here to show you, you have your air duct that comes in. Then you have a vent that takes some of it out through there, and the other stuff out on that side. Believe it or not, it's a really good heater. It actually puts out a lot of heat. But the problem is, you have tons and tons of holes in the cab and other stuff that just lets air, there's a hole right back there, that just lets air out of the cab. Also, if you look at insulation, on that window I can see the outside of the truck because it doesn't seal. Which, by the way, is another thing that we're going to do this year, hopefully, maybe next, is we're going to try to put some new seals on the windows here and everything. You can see, that's actually just, no, that is rubber. Wow. So, I guess these actually are rubber. When they repainted it, they just painted right over the rubber seal. Wow, that's hard. So that's why it doesn't seal. And also, if I get down, you can see that it really doesn't seal up that well. So, also while we're out here, here is your intake for your heater system. All your air goes right in here, and then you have your heater box in there. It's basically the same heater as your, probably, Honda. Now, another thing that we've added for comfort, if we get in here, we've added air assist steering, or air power steering. It's not hydraulic steering, but it is air. Not sure if there's any air left in here. No, there's really no air pressure left. But it does make steering this huge thing a lot easier. So that definitely helps out, especially with the 46-inch tires. So let's basically now start on the dash. So on your left over here, you have down here your manifold heater switch. Now what this does is it actually puts a flame in the manifold to heat it up. And this helps out in the winter because it is a diesel. So that's what that is for. Up here you have your throttle. Now this is mainly for if you have a winch on your truck. You know, it does pull out here with some little clicks on there. I'm sorry, I'm not really good with my camera today, so you can see there's little notches, and that clicks in. So that is also, if you're in the winter and it's really cold out, you can pull it out, and you know, it'll basically hold the gas pedal down for you a little bit. Up on top, we have your engine stop. Now, a Deuce and a half does not require a key to start. So basically, I'm going to show you the starting procedure. What you do is, if it's cold out, you can pull your throttle out a couple clicks, but otherwise don't. All you have to do is push in the stop engine lever, and basically what that does is cuts off the electric to your engine. Also, then turn on your accessories. When you flip that switch, you'll get a buzzer, and what that lets you know is that your air pressure is building, because the Deuce and a half, obviously for us, has the air assist steering, but also they do have air assist brakes. They are not full air. They are air assist, which therefore you don't need a special license to drive one. So when you press that on and off switch there, it'll turn your buzzer on and let you know that your air pressure is low, and then all you have to do is press the bright red button. Now, a lot of trucks, and especially ours, has a special cutoff hidden in the truck, so if you try to just hop in and steal one, obviously it won't let you. Now down here we have our lighting. Now this is actually a pretty cool thing that I learned recently, actually on Deuce and Guns, so definitely check his channel out. Now, as you can see, you have blackout drive, blackout marker, stoplight, driving lights, unlock, and then panel bright, panel dim, and I think the one off, and then park. So the blackout markers, I'll show in another video. There are blackout lights on this truck, so they can be seen by infrared only, and also there so that if you're in a convoy, you can just barely see the truck in front of you, so that you don't get caught in the battle scene. Now, you have this unlock lever over here. Now, this is actually pretty cool. Now, if you notice, I can switch to the blackout without even clicking the unlock. And then, of course, I can go back to off. But, now all that does is turn on the little bitty lights that you can barely see. Now, if I try to go to the stoplight, which, by the way, you need to have on stoplight to have your brake lights and turn signals work, you'll notice it won't go in there. To do that, I have to pull up on the lock, or unlock, and then I can go over there. But I do not have to go to off. Now, the reason this is because if you are in or on the battlefield and you're in a convoy, you don't accidentally switch it to have your lights on and then you're basically found. It will let you go to the blackout marker, but not blackout drive. Blackout drive puts on a couple more little lights so that you can see them better. The blackout marker is just like the smallest little bulb that you can't even see. And then the ones down here for your panel bright, those are just your dash panel lights. This right here is actually pretty cool. This is a little knob, and I can't unfortunately show it to you right now because there's no air pressure. But if you unscrew this, what it'll do is turn on your windshield wipers. Now, these windshield wipers are air powered, as you can see by the air hose that runs over there. Actually, it runs down here and then into your dash there. And what it does is it obviously powers the windshield wipers. They are very unreliable. I don't think there's any air left in here. Yeah, there's no air left in here, unfortunately, so I can't show you. But they are very unreliable. In fact, 90% of the time. You have slow, which is like really slow, and then you have stupid fast that just goes everywhere and doesn't really do anything. You also do have turn signals on here, right over here. These do not go back though. Once it is in the left turn signal position, you have to put it back. And you have a little green indicator light here that lets you know that it is on. If we work over to the dashboard, you have your oil pressure. You have your speedometer that is very inaccurate. It'll most of the time just bounce back and forth. You have your RPM. And also you do have your danger up here because you do not want to get up high in the RPMs on this truck. Then you have your temperature gauge for the coolant. You have a indicator that your high beams are on. And then also these two right here, these are just map reading lights so that, again, when you're on blackout, it does give a little light inside the truck so that you can read stuff. You have your fuel gauge down here, which again, I guess is pretty inaccurate. Over here you have your battery generator. This does have a generator, not a alternator. And then finally you have your air pressure. And ours right now is sitting at about, what is that, 30? About 30. So obviously I can't do the horn or anything like that. And then this one over here, in my last video, you know that we had convoy lights on here. And when you pull that out, that would turn them on. But we had to take them off. Unfortunately, we actually took them off. But anyway, I'll show that in another video. Also down here, you do have your front wheel drive. Now, this is air powered as well. And when you flip it over, you'll hear a big psh kind of sound, air sound. And then that basically engages your front wheels so that you now are full wheel drive, 6-wheel drive. And then also you can switch it to off like we have so that it's just 4-wheel drive. Down over here, you have your high and low gear transfer case. Pull it up, you get your high set of gears, down, low set of gears. And you have over here your maximum road speed in mile per hour. You have your high and your low over here. This is pretty funny. First gear in low, you get a whopping 5 miles an hour. In high gear, even better, 9. And your top speed is 56 miles an hour. And even if you are able to get to 5th, I really don't think that you'll want to go 56. It's a pretty scary ride. Also, you do have a different shift pattern in here. It goes reverse, first, second, third, and then 4th and 5th. Now, the reason that I guess that is because when you're driving here, you can put it over into 5th while you're cruising, and that way you have some more room here with your passengers in the truck. So now you're in neutral. Over here we have our gun rack. I'm really not good with gun names, but it has 2 holders here for the guns and your boots on the floor. You have your glove compartment, which is pretty funny there. And of course you have all these warning badges on here that tell you, you know, what to do and what not to do. You have two fire extinguishers in the cab, which makes me a little worried. Another cool thing that this truck has, and I'm not sure it's original, but it does have a radio, military radio. Also has the antenna outside. I don't think that it works. I've never tried. We also have the headset for it and everything. So that's pretty cool. And also your seat not only folds up, the bottom, but the back also will fold flat down. There are 2 clicks there. What else are we missing? Let's go over here. There is a little interesting thing with the driver's seat. By the way, here's your parking brake. If you twist the top of it, that will tighten the cable, so that way it's kind of adjustable. You also do have a bunch of little knobs and levers on the seat. What this one does is it adjusts the spring tension in here, because you can see the seat will bounce up and down. You also have this, which I think is supposed to move it back and forwards, but it doesn't seem to work for me. Anyway, what else do we have down here? You have your clutch pedal, your brake pedal, and your gas. You have a governor down here. Now, this is not so that you can't go over 50 miles an hour, but it is so that it does not pull the cable directly out of the fuel injector pump down below. And you also have your high and low beam switch down here. Also, I didn't mention you have then with your heater, your defrosters, which are right up here. You have one on either side. Let's try to get back here and show you a look at the cab. Like I said, anything but comfortable. Door panels are just bare metal. And also, it is extremely loud in the truck, given that your exhaust pipe is directly next to your passenger side window. Also, this does have the Whistler or C-Turbo, which is incredibly loud, so when you're getting out of the truck, you can't hear anything out of your right ear. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for the Deuce and a Half interior video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to give it a like down below. Also, comment what you guys think if you have any questions or comments. And finally, go ahead and subscribe to the page. Also, check out my Instagram at @thecar_kid. I will be posting some updates on videos and also with the vehicles. So, thanks guys and have a great day.